Union Territory of Puducherry and Sri Lanka. Tamils constitute 5.9% of the population in India and 15% in Sri Lanka. They may not consider themselves black, but their very dark complexions and facial features are a dead giveaway. Another group of Indian people with a dark complexion are the Telugu. There are some suggestions that these people may have a kinship with the Horn of Africa people, but it's scientifically unconfirmed. One thing about them is that they are considered to be most original and indigenous tribe in India.
Peace, family. Shout out to all the returning viewers. Shout out to the new subscribers. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Shout out to Artista family for this video. We're going to go ahead and get into the indigenous peoples of the Asia, Pacific, and Australia area. Let's jump straight into it.
On behalf of Akuno Sankofa Bay, you know what I'm saying? Jay, where you at? We're trying to help our people elevate. Hope. H-O-P-E. We're giving them hope. We doing what we got to do, you know. Every day, one step at a time, man. We're going to make it happen. Helping our people elevate. Yeah. Sometimes I practice focus, thought, and meditate. I'm trying to come with other ways to help our people elevate and seeking knowledge, make me levitate. The lifted mental state is what results from how we orchestrate. This for the family's sake. Let's self-reflect and self-evaluate. And every day, make sure the steps you take, you calculate. Receive a master's fate. I know I can't exist without the hate, but that's okay. I balance that with higher self today. Success is on this way, and after that, my flesh can pass away.
Not restricted to Africa, the Caribbean, and American boundaries. Native black people can also be found in Asia, Australia, and the Pacific. The Pacific Islanders. Pacific Islanders are the peoples of the Pacific Islands. As an ethnic/racial term, it is used to describe the original peoples, inhabitants, and diasporas of any of the three major subregions of Oceania that are Melanesia, Micronesia, and Polynesia. In fact, the term Melanesia comes from the word melanin, and it alludes to the dark complexion of these people. The countries that Black Pacific Islanders come from are mainly Melanesian, of which comprises the Solomon Islanders, in which you will meet the only black people with blonde hair, Vanuatu, and Fiji. The Negritos. Negrito is the collective term to refer to the Filipino indigenous peoples with a hunter-gatherer background, including the Agda, Ida, Adi, Ata, and Batak peoples. The Negrito peoples represent the most ancient civilization in the country, dating back more than 50,000 years ago. They are assumed to be the aboriginal inhabitants of the archipelago. Many of these Negrito groups still live by hunting and gathering, trading wild meat and forest products to the Filipino farmers around them in exchange for rice or corn. They also practice some marginal cultivation. The Australian Aborigines. Aborigines are Australia's indigenous people. Recent government statistics counted approximately 400,000 Aboriginal people, or about 2% of Australia's total population. A current theory holds that those early migrants themselves came out of Africa about 70,000 years ago, which would make Aboriginal Australians the oldest population of humans living outside Africa. Aborigines have dark brown skin and pronounced facial features. Most of them have straight dark hair, and even some, especially the Torres Strait Islanders, have blonde and brown hair. The cities. These are not really native to Asia, but rather migrants from Africa to Pakistan and India many years ago. The African ancestors of the cities are said to have been taken to India and Pakistan as slaves, domestic servants, concubines, palace guards and soldiers, or ventured servants, sailors, and free merchants, considering the commercial interaction between Asia, the Arabian Peninsula, and Eastern Africa. Andamanese are the various indigenous peoples of the Andaman Islands, part of India's Andaman and Nicobar Islands Union Territory in the southeastern part of the Bay of Bengal in Southeast Asia. All Andamanese traditionally lived a hunter-gatherer lifestyle and appear to have lived in substantial isolation for thousands of years. It is suggested that the Andamanese settled in the Andaman Islands around the latest glacial maximum, around 26,000 years ago. The Andamanese peoples include the Great Andamanese and Jarawas of the Great Andaman Archipelago, the Jangle of Rutland Island, the Onge of Little Andaman, and the Sentinelese of North Sentinel Island. The Sentinelese are famous for active and resisting outside influence and have been known to finish off anybody seeking to invade their islands. Most of the Andamanese look very African, though they have this unique facial look. The Tamil. The Tamil people are a Dravidian dark-skinned ethno-linguistic group who trace their ancestry mainly to India's southern state of Tamil Nadu, Union Territory of Puducherry, and to Sri Lanka. Tamils constitute 5.9% of the population in India and 15% in Sri Lanka. They may not consider themselves black, but their very dark complexions and facial features are a dead giveaway. Another group of Indian people with a dark complexion are the Telugu. There are some suggestions that these people may have a kinship with the Horn of Africa people, but it's scientifically unconfirmed. One thing about them is that they are considered to be most original and indigenous tribe in India. The Papuans. These are the indigenous people of Papua New Guinea and West Papua. Many of them look full African with kinky to woolly hair, broad noses, and dark to brown complexions. The indigenous Papuans are divided into hundreds of ethnic indigenous groups thought to have inhabited the island of Papua for perhaps over 40,000 years. They comprise of over 820 language groups, the highest of any country on Earth. In a sociological sense, most Papua New Guinea people could be considered black. Genetically, however, they are part of the broader Melanesian people. They carry the black identity, though, and to any Western foreigner, they would easily be labeled black. They are our brothers and sisters. Thank you for watching to the end and see you in the next one.